Hello everybody, and welcome to Extreme. Today we're going to be checking out the physical release games for the Nintendo Switch that release in October that I'm looking forward to. Let's check it out. Hello everybody, welcome back. We're going to be checking out the Nintendo Switch physical releases for the month of October that I'm looking forward to. So, before we jump into that, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down below. And let's talk. Okay, starting out, releasing on October the 5th, we have Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania Anniversary Edition. That's a mouthful, that's for sure. So Super Monkey Ball Mania Anniversary Edition. It is all three of the first three Super Monkey Ball games remastered for the Nintendo Switch, getting released October 5th. What Super Monkey Ball is essentially you're a monkey in a ball and you roll through the courses, given from one end to the other. Kinda, you can compare it to maybe like Marvel Madness almost, only with a monkey. The Wii version used motion controls to tilt your course. I don't know if this one uses motion controls or not, but they're pretty fun games if you play them. They go all the way back to the Dreamcast, I think. I remember playing them on the GameCube though. Next up, also releasing on October 5th, is Agatha Christie's Hercule. I gotta read this because it's in French. Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot, the First Class. So what this game is, it's a point-and-click adventure murder mystery game. It's done in the style of Murder on the Orient Express or Knives Out, where you are a inspector or a detective in a house full of people who are suspects of being a murderer for this murder that happened in this house. So I always like these types of games, and I'm excited for this one too. Next up, also releasing on October 5th, is a Lego Marvel Superheroes. Now, Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 has already been released on the Switch. Now we are getting the port of the first game. These games are a lot of fun because it's essentially a free-roaming Marvel Lego game where you can essentially pick any character you want and then run through the city as those characters. There's also levels in it as well, so it's level-based and free roaming at the same time, but you can fly through the streets as Iron Man, jump around as Hulk. It's awesome. You can web swing as Spider-Man. Fun games. If you haven't played any of the Lego games, they're always a good time. This does have split-screen multiplayer. And the split screen's fun because it works kind of like Toe Jam and Earl does, where if you are in the same vicinity each other, you'll both be on one screen, but as soon as you separate, the screen splits in half. So it's great like that.
In the face of unthinkable evil, true heroes band together to do what's right.
The next one I'm looking forward to also releases on October 5th, and that's Nickelodeon AllStar Brawl. So Nickelodeon AllStar Brawl, what is essentially a Smash Brothers ripoff with all Nickelodeon characters. It looks pretty good. Graphics look great. You have a bunch of Ninja Turtles characters in it. You also have SpongeBob SquarePants characters. Now with the Nickelodeon stuff, my age group kind of caught the tail end of it. So I believe the dinosaur from Rugrats is in it, and I watched Rugrats as a kid, but past that I haven't really watched anything. I think there's some of the characters from Real Monsters in as well. I also remember that show, but past that, like, I don't really remember anything. So there is stuff for older folks and younger folk. It also has Ren and Stimpy in it, I believe, and I think there's more characters to be revealed. They haven't revealed anybody yet, but this game does look like a lot of fun, and it would be nice to play a Smash Brothers like game with different characters. Next up is the big boy for the month, releasing on October 8th, and that is Metroid Dread. Metroid Dread is another side-scroller Metroidvania. This is the first one that is kind of like a new game in a very long time for the Metroid series. That's actually a side-scroller Metroidvania. So the last one was Metroid Samus Returns, but that technically was a remake of the Game Boy game, even though it was like a completely, totally new game. There's also a special edition, which is pretty much impossible to get. I actually got it pre-ordered twice. I have it pre-ordered from Amazon Japan, which I'm going to cancel because I managed to get it pre-ordered at a GameStop because GameStop actually opened in-store pre-orders for them. So even though all the pre-orders sold out online everywhere, like immediately, and nobody who actually wants it could get it, the in-store opened up by phone, and I did a pre-order over the phone to get it from the store. So I can't wait to pick that up. Next up, releasing on October 15th, is Ty the Tasmanian Tiger HD. So what this is, it's a remaster of a Xbox, GameCube, PS2 area third-person mascot platformer. The game looks great. It's not really a remaster as much as they pretty much just took the old game and then just upped the resolution and made it 16:9 and everything. But the game still looks like a lot of fun. The original Xbox had a lot of these really good platformers on it that nobody played because a lot of people weren't really interested in them at the time, but they did produce a lot of them. And this one looks like it was one of the good ones, that's for sure. The next one coming out for the month is a big one, I think. That is Dying Light Platinum Edition. This comes out October 19th. Now, what Dying Light is, if you haven't played it, is essentially they took Mirror's Edge and mixed it with Dead Island. So it is a free-roaming, first-person zombie game, but you move with parkour, just like in Mirror's Edge. And the game looks like a ton of fun. I haven't played it before. This is a remaster. Now, they have Dying Light 2 coming out in cloud version, but in my experience with cloud games is they run like trash, so I'm not really looking forward to that. But I haven't played the first one. I hear it's a really good game, and to me it's like a new game, so I'm super excited to play this on the Switch, and I can't wait to get it. Next up, releasing on October 26th, is Stubs the Zombie Rebel Without a Pulse. Now, Stubs Zombie, what it is, it's a third-person zombie game from the original Xbox. I believe it was an original Xbox exclusive, and it's just a silly, fun game where you just play as a zombie, and you can control your enemies and stuff. It just looks like a lot of fun. It looks like it's a goofy game. I hear it hasn't really been updated too much. I hear the controls have been updated, but otherwise the graphics are the same, and a lot of the jokes that are in the game are a little bit outdated because they come from that time, but it still looks like a fun time. Next up, and I'm looking forward to this one. This is Mario Party Superstars. This comes out on October 29th. This game is essentially a Mario Party where they took courses from different Mario Party games and put them all into one. Same with the mini games, took them all into one. So not a lot of creative work necessarily went into this, but they updated obviously the graphics and everything. And you know what? With it being kind of more of like a greatest hits, that means it's going to be really good. And because everything, they're only going to pick the good stuff to put in. And I'm really excited for that because I felt the last Mario Party release was really, really lacking. And it only had 4 courses in it, not a ton of content. The online didn't really work well, or barely at all. Like, you couldn't do much online with it. So this one's supposed to be fully online. You can play with people online, which is a lot of fun, I'd imagine. And but obviously this is something you want to do in your house, but you don't always get that option for everybody to hang out together and play the game. So when this comes out, I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Ready for another round of Mario Party mayhem? Of course you are.
So also coming out on October 29th is The Hunt Down. So The Hunt Down is essentially a side-scroller game, pixel art style. It's a cover shooter platformer. It looks pretty cool because it's done in the style of like those 80s like post-apocalyptic movie style, like Escape from New York or The Warrior, stuff like that. It looks like a lot of fun. It's got a nice cover shooter mechanic in it. It looks very 80s. The music sounds awesome, and I'm super excited for this one. Limited Run Games did do a short release of this. It wasn't an open pre-order, it was just a tiny pre-order for a collector set. So now this is the individual release coming out, wide release, that anybody can pick up, and I'm excited for this one.
Enter a future where crime rules the streets. When the citizens are in trouble, they call the authorities. When the authorities are in trouble, they call the Bounty Hunters.
And the last one for the month I'm looking forward to, also coming out on October 29th, is Carry On. If you don't know what Carry On is, it's a side-scroller Metroidvania where you play as a monster. Kind of like John Carpenter's The Thing type monster, where you're just like a blob, but you're going through like this facility killing scientists. You have all these tentacles that fly off you. It's kind of cool, the fact that you're playing as the monster in this, and you're just completely ravaging people. There's supposed to be a lot of puzzles in the game, and the combat's supposed to be a lot of fun. So the game looks really, really really good. This did get a limited release through Special Reserve Games, and Limited Run also, I think, did a release of it with them as well. It's nice to see a lot of these games that you may have missed out on through these limited run companies, which are being scalped for ridiculous amounts of money, getting retail releases at reasonable prices. It's really nice to see that. Well, everybody, that's it for this video. If you like what you saw, hit like. If you dislike what you saw, hit dislike. If there's any other games in October you are looking forward to getting, leave a comment down below. Let me know what they are that I haven't mentioned, and we'll talk to you later.